What's your guys' names?
I'm Danielle.
Johnny?
How long you guys been out here on the streets?
About 6 years.
Yeah, about 6 years.
Where you guys originally from?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona.
So how long you guys been out here for 6 years? You stay on the streets, right?
Well,
You
not
guys suffer from any drug addiction or anything?
Yeah.
Just fentanyl.
fentanyl and meth.
How serious is the fentanyl addiction out here?
It's
very
crazy. It's serious. Really serious, yeah.
I hear many have died from it, but from our basically life of what we've done for the most part, I just experienced it when I barely got out of jail. So
Like for overdose she's talking about.
Tell us about that overdose.
I just got out of jail, thinking about getting my mind right, but you know how it is when you want to go back and go home. Well, I ended up leaving home and just never went back. And I stayed up all that night getting high off of the pills and nothing yet. And by like 7 o'clock, I ended up meeting up with a friend of mine, and I bought 2 from him. And ended up at another friend's house and wasn't feeling too good, so I took off to another friend's house that I felt comfortable and safe at. And I went to go and smoke with him, and that's all I remember.
So what's the crazy stuff you've seen out here on the streets?
A whole family of what, gypsies, right? Like a whole family, like I'm telling you, like from like a 12-year-old kid to the mom and dad, all out here panhandling for the dad's addiction and stuff. They do that all day, like, and they do that, they do a hustle where they like wipe car transmission fluid on the headlights to make it look like it's cleaning it. They'll make it look like brand new, and then like 2 days later, it'll ruin it, like straight ruin your headlights. But yeah, they do that. They would do that every day. I seen that. It was crazy.
That was in like the third year.
Oh, and then the other day, right here at the Circle K, a guy's guts was hanging out. He got in a fight, and the guy stabbed him, and his guts were hanging out of his body. He was sitting there with his guts in his hand. That was pretty crazy. Yeah.
Where do you guys stay each night?
Depends, anywhere from like the
Most-
sidewalk or like when the buildings close down, we'll just like sleep in front of them, or
Yeah.
it just depends because there's a lot of people out here that like jacking each other, so
Yeah, they
it's
steal.
like taking turns of watching each other sleep. And
Yeah. Try not to sleep. When you sleep, you get your stuff taken. So
How old are you guys?
I'm 25. I'm about to be 26.
I just turned 25 in June.
Do you guys have any type of family support?
Not really.
I did.
Can you elaborate on that?
I'd rather not talk about that.
Do you have any kids?
No.
I have one son. Yeah, he turned 4 in September.
What do you guys have to do out here to survive?
Anything we can, from selling waters and sodas and Gatorades, to stealing from stores, to panhandling, to doing side jobs. Like people ask sometimes to help them move or cut yards or stuff like that. Just hustle any way we can.
How bad is the fentanyl addiction out here on the streets?
It's ridiculously bad.
Can you elaborate?
Like, I've seen many friends died from it, and many friends died for it, like dying while trying to steal something, running across the street, getting hit by a car, dying, just situations like that.
Even to where like a mom and her own son are out here together struggling, like
13-year-old son and a mom out here doing fentanyl together too.
it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Where do you guys like use the restroom and stuff like that out here?
We try to go inside stores and use it, but most of them don't let us because they think we're going to get high in there, but sometimes we really have to use the restroom.
There's a difference between most of us that smoke fentanyl and most of us that don't. Most of us know like not to be smoking into like public health, like Burger King or any fast food restaurants, but the other majority of who don't care and just don't worry about how others feel, they'll just get high inside of
They
the
get
restroom.
high inside the restroom, so it ruins it for all of us. So we have to
Mainly
go behind the
bathrooms that are out
dumpster.
here, it's like you gotta buy something in order to use the restroom, or you're a certain amount of time into the restroom. Like It's just ridiculous.
But QT is still cool.
Yeah.
QT lets us use it.
Okay, this channel is a broken dream, right? So would you say it's a broken dream out here on the streets?
Yeah.
Because it's like most of us want to get clean, but for some reason and for somehow the pills just
Pill's different, man. The
it's
pills
way different than what anybody could think of. Like it just
Even-
makes you forget about what's going on at that moment, or like if somebody passes away, then you don't have to worry about it because you're not thinking about it. Like it just makes a lot of shit go away.
Even people that do heroin, like say when they move on to the pill,
It's way better than what they were doing.
but like it's way worse in a way because
What type of resources do they have out here for you guys?
They send CBI and all that out here, but most of us regularly don't go with them or even let them approach us. We'll just all walk away. Like most of them, if they see the car pull up, everybody's getting up and just scattering like a bunch of roaches.
How hard is it being a female here on the streets?
It's very hard because you can't wander the streets by yourself without anything happening to you, or just the men out here. There's majority of them. There's like how the workers. There's fucking like a lot of people that come out. It's just very difficult for a female to be out here because there's a lot that can happen to us without anybody being with us. Just like the prices have went down within the years, and then just like 2 years ago it was 10, and then now it's 5. But the most I could probably get mine at is 3, probably 250.
the cheapest.
I got a question for each of you. How old were you when you first started using? How did you start using?
Using in general, like
I started in 20. Before I was using the prescription opiates, and then a family death happened and just kind of spiraled into a different transition. So it's just like I went from being a major pothead to just straight pills.
yeah, I used to when I was in high school I used to steal my mom's painkillers, and then my baby mama died, and I remembered that I used to do painkillers, so I started doing them again. I started off doing coke, but then went down to the blues because it was cheaper and got, at first it's cool because you get higher and it's cheaper, but then after a while your tolerance builds and it just becomes
Well, because when me and him both started, we were snorting them, so it only took a quarter for it to fuck us both up, and then it went from that, and it just kept going on to a half, to a whole. So it's just like, after 3 years, my cousin, that's only like 2 years younger than me, she introduced me and him to smoking them. I didn't like it at first, but he fell in love with it. So. And then eventually I started smoking it with him, and his tolerance is higher than mine. I can go out without smoking and last longer, but with him, he's more of like every 15 minutes.
yeah.
So his tolerance is way more higher than mine.
How long have you guys been in a relationship?
6 years.
We were in a relationship before we got to the streets. I was on painkillers when I met her. She was just smoking weed, and then she was trying to get me off painkillers, and then started doing them once she got depressed.
Yeah, stealing from stores is fast money. Being a booster, because I was a booster for 5 years. And I ended up having to stop because I caught 7 counts of third-degree burglary.
And organized retail.
And now I'm on ankle monitor, so it's just like, I was playing with my life. Now it's just, I kind of slowed down because he wanted me not to get in trouble no more. So that's why I started helping him sell water. And all these other kids, I see them in and out of jail, and I'm just like, okay, it's funny to you guys, but yeah, it's staying out of trouble with the law, you know what I mean? Some stores don't like us being on the corners or whatever, but we're not on their property, so it's like they can't do nothing about it. And like, yeah, we sell waters, but it's more good for us because we're basically giving everybody something cool to drink while they're driving home or going about their day, you know what I mean?
It's better than just holding up a sign, basically.
What type of resources do they have available to you guys out in the streets?
Not much. There's a church that comes out like every other Thursday, and they come out and they give us, like, they have donation clothes that they bring out, and then they feed us like hamburgers, brats, hot dogs. And, Yeah, that's one resource right here. And some, like St. Luke's comes out and brings waters, sometimes packs of waters, or they bring out waters. But other than that,
I'm a recovering addict. I got over 5 years clean and sober. Have you guys thought about getting clean and sober?
I've tried a lot of
We tried
times.
multiple times. When most people think they do understand what most of us go through out here, or if they understand how these pills are, they don't understand because it's just a mixture of
Were you on pills?
No, I used to use meth.
You used to use meth, yeah.
And the only reason why meth fell into part of that is because that's a helping of us getting malia, so it's just keeping us from getting sick while we're basically trying to hustle to get money, because it's slowing down us from throwing up, or just if we were having the flu.
I got a question for you. As a woman out here on the streets, have you ever been sexually attacked out here?
Yeah. The
Can you
first year
elaborate?
I was out here.
Can you elaborate?
I was on 67th in Indian School, and at that time, Midnight Projection was out. And then this guy and another guy ended up pulling up on me and throwing me in the back of a car and just ended up raping me. And I got away luckily, but I just went to go find my older sister because she was out there with me. Within the first week of me noticing all the cars that were following me, I knew I wasn't tripping because I always pay attention to my surroundings, and that night I didn't pay attention for I don't know what reason. And after that happened, all the cars that I was seeing a week prior to that started pulling into the parking lot, and it was just nothing but men, just kept pulling in and pulling in. I'm just I was scared because I already knew what it was about, because when I tried to get out the car, the handles weren't out in the outside. When I tried to open the door from the inside, there was no handles either.
Do me a favor. Look at the camera. For them young women out there in the streets, tell them how hard it could be for them out here and the threats that they could experience.
It's you can't go get help from nobody. It's we feel like everybody's out to get us. So it's I know it's hard for most of the women out here to report what's happened, but I honestly think they should. I should have.
Johnny, have you ever been attacked out here?
No. I haven't.
Let me ask both of you guys this question. Do you guys want to get clean and sober?
At this moment, to be honest, I'm not.
Because every time you get sober, your family always accuse you of not being clean, and then it's just I got clean a bunch of times, and every time I do, they think I'm doing something and I'm really not, and
So
then it's just
if
fuck
somebody
it.
keeps telling you, oh, you're doing this and you're doing this, but in all reality, you're not doing it.
You're just
and
threatening me to
eventually
kick
you're
me
just gonna
out.
end up doing it.
Threatening me to kick me out, so I just might as well just leave. That's most of what happens. My aunt kicked me out, and I wasn't
But
doing
forget
anything.
about family. Get clean for yourself. I'm a recovering addict, so I see you guys are both young, man, and I'm very compassionate about trying to help others out here in the streets. There are steps that you guys can take in life to change your life if you guys are willing. You guys have to want it. Take advantage of the resources that, even if they're minimal, you know what I mean, to make those changes to yourself. You guys are both young. You guys both have a future. Where do you guys see yourself 5 years from now?
Hopefully not out here that much longer.
Yeah, hopefully not out here.